Coming to you unalive from as close to Hollywood, California as we can afford, it's the Attack of the Killer Podcast Halloween Special! With special guest stars we would like to have had Robert Englund, Stephen King, Rob Zombie, and musical guests Captain and Tennille. All that and more on the Attack of the Killer Podcast Halloween Special!
Attention Planet Earth and beyond! Stay tuned for Attack of the Killer Podcast! 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 That's time for the show! Yay!
What?
The Attack of the Killer Podcast Halloween Special is brought to you by Meaty Chunks, your favorite mystery meat in a can. Also Disney. They have so much money, they don't even realize what they're spending it on. Bob Smithenbergerson, who gave me $5 to mention his name, and Toilet Duck. When your toilet gets backed up, then duck it. Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the Attack of the Killer Podcast Halloween Special, teen heartthrob, Insane Mike! Thank you. Please stop, that's too much. Stop. We're never going to get through this. Calm down. All right. I am Insane Mike, and we have a great show for you. This is not just any episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast. This is the Attack of the Killer Podcast Halloween Special. We have all kinds of spooky stuff for you. We will be discussing 3 Halloween-themed horror films. You'll chill at what we watched. And on this Halloween night, we shall perform a seance so we can communicate with the spirit of Helen Keller. And so many more chilling surprises. If this is your first time listening to our show, and you discovered us because you can't believe a podcast is covering the 1991 film Scary Movie, well then you are in for a treat. Attack of the Killer Podcast is a horror movie podcast where a group of friends get together with a topic and discuss films within that topic. Since this is our Halloween special, there may even be spoilers. Aren't you lucky? We were supposed to have the star of Wednesday and Beetlejuice, Jenna Ortega, but we couldn't afford her. Maybe we could have if you would have donated to our Patreon already. If you go to jointheattackers.com, you can pick the level at which you want to donate to get the perks you want to receive. When you do, you become part of the Attack of the Killer podcast family that we call the Attackers. Some of the different perks you can get are bonus episodes, invitations to our exclusive chat called Attack of the Killer Chat, our YouTube shows, and so much more. Like, for example, getting shout-outs on the show like these attackers right here.
Timothy Leonard, Roman Doppelfeld, Larry Watanabe, Brett J. Royer, Jessica Irish, Chris Cook, Brian Godsell, Stefan Sitter, Brandy Moore, Andrew Mahler, Rodney Dean Hutchinson Jr., Carmen DeHague, Abraham Ariano, Andrew Bentler, Casey Kelderman, Tony Miller, Mike Clayton, Rose Talashoma, Abe Kirshner, Lisa Cavalier, Holly Berg, Bill Fisher, Greg Dedrick, Sam Lenz, Garth Jacobson, Brett White, Tiffany Dewey, Scott Reebsman, Chris Collins, and Jacob McLaughlin.
Those people are super cool and awesome. But wait, I didn't hear your name on the list. You can fix that right now by going to jointheattackers.com, pick the tier that best suits you, and become an attacker today. And now it's time to introduce you to the podcast crew. He used to work for the local newspaper. It was a very popular newspaper for vampires because of its circulation. Tad.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Not too bad, Mike.
Thanks. His house used to be haunted by a bunch of lying ghosts. He knew they were liars because he could see right through them. Brian.
Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween.
He has an amazing recipe for squash casserole by using pumpkins. Step 1, throw the pumpkin off the roof of your house. Jason, everybody.
Hey there, my spooky spirits. So glad you're here.
And now, boys and ghouls, it's time to get really spooky. here's Tad with What We Watched.
So if you've been listening to the show, which I sure hope you have been, you'll know that we've done some commentaries the last 2 episodes. So we haven't done what we watched in like a month and a half, it feels like. So this might be an extended director's cut of what we watched. Jason, what have you watched?
It's so funny you said that because I've seen 0 movies since the last time
No shit.
we did the Halloween-a-Palooza just happened. I've been busy, but I had I do have one thing to talk about. I finally did watch the 4th season of The Boys.
Nice.
Finally got
Nice.
through there, and I think I liked it.
You think you liked it?
Yeah. What do you guys have? You guys all seen this?
I really
already?
like it.
Yeah, The Boys is great.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I like The Boys on a whole, big picture, but I don't know. I guess I thought maybe season 3 it got kind of too wacky, but then,
Is it too close to home?
well, this last season, Jesus Christ, the last episode alone was January 6th, and they said everything but, well, it began with a warning that said, "I promise this is fiction."
And it took that much being on the nose to get people to realize that they were being made fun of, and Homelander
Right.
isn't the good guy.
Yeah.
Once again, media literacy is important, people.
But I think I liked this one, the story of it all. I guess I was preparing for it to be the end, but they left it with there's more definitely coming. And
Yeah,
I
there's
don't-
one more season, and that's going to be the end of it.
Oh Christ!
So
'cause
they
If
have
they
planned.
ever come out with it, for God's
Well,
sakes.
It took a long time. They're usually a long ways between seasons. It's not a
Couple
show they
years.
crank out quickly, which I'm glad, because if they just shit them out, it would, I'm glad they take their time with it.
Yeah, you're right.
At least it's
you're
not
right,
Stranger
but
Things. Like the kids
This
are.
is true.
Yeah, we don't
Stranger
have to
Things,
worry
yeah.
about the actors aging out of the roles in this one. Or, I mean, at least assuming they get it out sometime within the next 30 years or so.
Yeah.
I guess I thought between like season 2 and 3 it escalated like
Yeah.
crazy amount, and then between 3 and 4, an incredible, insane amount of escalation. So I was like nervous about this season, but now I'm like, it can't escalate more than what's going to be next. I can't, having not read the books, I don't know, but I can only imagine.
It's
The
so
spin-off
far
showed
removed
you.
from the books at this point, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I guess my only, maybe I didn't get to watch it all like close to each other. Like I spread it out over several weeks and weeks, but I felt like maybe they're just Homelander didn't do anything in this season. Like he barely even flew once. He kind of eyeballed somebody once.
Honestly, I kind of feel like that was the point of the season, though. Like,
He didn't. Not many people did many things with powers. I don't know. I don't know.
as I've recently done a rewatch of the whole series, and my son and I just got done watching was it 2-3 seasons now of Gen V?
Yeah,
Just finished it.
2 seasons. The
Two
second one
seasons.
just came out. Yep, that's pretty
Yeah,
good
we-
too. We haven't watched the
yeah.
whole second season yet, but
Worth watching.
I think so.
Okay.
It may be a little bit, take you a little bit to get into, but like I feel like once you're in,
yeah,
and
it's
there's
worth plowing through and sticking with it until it grabs you because it is good.
and it is so connected to the boys that
Okay.
with still being its own story, mind you. Don't let me deter you that way, but there's enough there that it's like it's a connected universe, obviously, and you know what's going down. But I had this revelation in this most recent viewing of everything. Do you guys realize that the 7, there's maybe 2 episodes of the entire series where there's actually 7 members
yeah.
of the 7?
Yeah, in the last episode of 4, they sit down and they talk about the 7, and there's only 4 of them in the room, and one of them's not even the original one.
Well, and that's part of what Gen V is about. Like kind of grooming the next generation to become part of the Seven. And I think
Yeah.
does it go further into that in the second season, Mike, where they're kind of choosing?
It's all about dangling carrots for these kids, but
Yeah.
that's obviously even as there's darker things going on at the school in the first season. There's even darker things going on behind the scenes of the second season. That is a complete personal agenda and has nothing to do with what's best for Vought, the Seven, or these students. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. Most of the cast from the first one's back too, so it's just cool.
We're like
those
2
characters.
episodes in, so we have started
okay.
it. We just kind of we're watching so many different TV shows, we kind of forget some of it we're watching,
And then
and need to get back to that.
and then also with this last season, it's like you just spend enough time in the universe or whatever with this stuff. It starts to get I start to question the convenience of things because Moomin, she could have popped anybody's head at any time. Like why, or why did it take pulling her in half to why? It's like nobody used their powers, and they never used them when they could use them to do the things they want to do. And I don't know. Part of me hates that about superhero stuff. You're like, okay,
Look, it's just fun to have a herd of super goats, okay?
oh man, the sheep. That was
Or sheep, yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Well, with I know you're just saying it as an example, and I know where you're coming from, but specifically Newman, she was just doing her best to try to hide her powers the whole time. So I feel like that's why she didn't use them as much.
Or like Homelander, why does he can never not find somebody, but he spends the whole time not being able to find somebody. He can hear everything. Like what? The convenience of the superpowers not being used when it helps further that gets to me sometimes. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, that's what I watched. Sorry.
All right, Mike, what have you watched?
Oh, a lot more than Jason. I'm going to just start off with a couple things here that aren't horror related. I had I think last night, maybe 2 nights ago, watched the 2025 film Novocaine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jack Quaid and
Speaking
Amber
of
Yes, a lot of fun.
Midthunder. Oh yeah, so good. Never, ever have I watched a movie where I'm laughing and cringing at the same time. Like every torturous thing he puts himself through in that movie just makes me wince, but I'm laughing hysterically at it at the same time. It was great.
Very
Fun.
crank coded.
Yeah. Yep. Only it's Jack Quaid and not.
Yeah. Not quite that over the top. But
No. Yeah. They try to keep it a little more grounded in reality, right? But you got such a passive guy like Jack Quaid versus I can't think of his name right now.
Jason Statham.
Statham, yeah. The next thing I watched, Brandy and I watched an old John Candy movie I haven't seen in forever, called Going Berserk from 1983. For the longest time, I couldn't find this movie, but when I was a kid, it was on cable all the time, and I watched it constantly. I loved it. And ever since Prime has released the I Like Me documentary about John Candy, they've added a ton of John Candy content on there on Prime. I haven't watched the documentary yet. I'm kind of nervous too because I know I'm going to cry my brains out. The title alone makes me want to cry.
Right, I'm saving it for after Halloween.
Yeah,
I'll probably do a Planes, Trains, my annual watch for Thanksgiving, and then watch the new documentary.
Oh, that'll be rough.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen this movie in years, and was so excited that it was there. It's got John Candy, Joe Flaherty, and Eugene Levy in it, and also the director and the writers on it also worked on SCTV like those guys. So it kind of feels like, and the movie itself, a lot of the scenes feel more like sketches than stuff that drives the story along. So there are many people out there, myself included, consider this to be like the closest thing to like an SCTV movie, if you're not counting Strange Brew. My favorite part of it is there's a movie within the movie. Eugene Levy is this guy who directed a film back in the day, and he's like all proud of it, called Kung Fu You. And at one point they watch part of the movie, and so it plays, and it's John Candy, Joe Flaherty, and Eugene Levy in this is this parody of these old kung fu films, even with the bad dubbing, and it's hilarious. That's my favorite part. And then I also just kind of wanted to throw out there a list of the movies I've been watching for this year's spooky season. So I'm just going to ramble through these real quick. For spooky season so far, I've watched King of the Zombies, The Brute Man, the 1990 Night of Living Dead. I hadn't seen that one in a while. Showed my son Tremors, so for his first time viewing. Hostel 2 I just recently watched. I did a rewatch of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Got to squeeze a Friday the 13th film in there somewhere, so obviously going to go with the best, Part 6, Jason Lives. And then watched the original Hatchet for the first time in forever. And I kind of forgot how, honestly, low budget that movie looks.
Yeah.
No offense to Adam Green, and I still really like the movie, but man, when you're watching like newer stuff and then you go back and watch a movie like that, it's like, ooh, yeah, it's a little rough budgetary wise, but still good. Anyway, that's what I've been watching.
All right, here we go. Buckle in.
This is
Brian
the one,
Clark. What have you watched?
This is the one time a year that I really don't want my entertainment to make me feel like shit. Because just straight up horror movies don't make me feel that, like this is when I want to watch the stuff
Halloween
that makes
Town.
me feel comforting. No. I don't remember. I think we did a bit of this on the last commentary, didn't we? So I don't remember if I talked about seeing Good Boy.
No, you didn't, because we both
Okay,
seen
yeah.
it, and we didn't talk about it.
So we went and caught that in the theater, and it's a pretty decent ghost movie. It's not going to, change the way you look at horror movies or anything, but man, infinite extra points for the cute dog. And it was
Yes.
in the theater, they added a little extra thing. If you stay after the credits, there's a little behind the scenes
It was
stuff
fantastic.
of how they got the dog to do his performance, and it was so funny because they're talking about how the trick of directing your attention and manipulating it through lighting and music and sound effects and stuff. So what you see in the movie is the dog looking scared or looking concerned, but that's you reading your own emotions over his face, because then it shows the behind the scenes and the director's just standing behind the camera yelling quack, quack, quack at the dog as loud as he can just so he'll look at the camera. That was a lot of fun. A few things from Vinegar Syndrome and other assorted labels, new releases came in, so I checked out, this isn't a new one, but Love on Delivery. They put it out a while ago, and I just kind of forgot to get it. It's one of Stephen Chow's early movie, like Kung Fu Hustle guy. This is one of his early, it's like a romantic comedy where he goes to learn Kung Fu to impress this girl, but the guy who says he's going to teach him Kung Fu is this like loser cripple scam artist who's totally putting him on and not really teaching him Kung Fu, and he's just telling him to like throw himself down the stairs and stuff. Then that'll make him invincible. Except then it turns out this guy really is some Kung Fu badass, so he has to learn real Kung Fu to defeat his... Anyway, it's a whole thing, but it's really funny. We finished off John Wick series, John Wick Chapter 4, which I've just been putting off forever. That was a lot of fun. After seeing Stephen Jeffries at Halloween-a-Palooza, I kind of got it in my head. I wanted to rewatch 976 Evil, because I hadn't seen it since high school.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember it sucking then. Like, I remember not liking it. But watching it this time, I was like, man, this is actually really good. Like, there's some frustrating stuff where it suggests story elements that they thought of in it, because Robert Englund is such a thoughtful, intellectual kind of guy. If you hear him in interviews and stuff, you can tell that's, or at least I assume, what drew him to want to direct this particular script as his first directing project, because it seemed like some stuff you could really sink your teeth into with some interesting themes, but then it just never develops them, unfortunately. But there's enough there that you can kind of, you do a little work for the movie and read into it. But there's some really cool set pieces, especially at the end, once the supernatural stuff is really in full swing, where like they go into the house to find Stephen Jeffries' character who's been possessed, to try and save him. And one of the rooms in the house is just full of snow, and it's blizzarding with no explanation other than just like hell is awakened and the supernatural is here. So why wouldn't it be snowing in this one room of the house? Like just weird little things like that. A couple of movies out of Radiance Films, second volume of Dai Gothic, Japanese horror movies. So Jason, as much as you've enjoyed the last few Japanese flicks we've done on here, I think you would really like these.
Cool.
The Masure's Curse, which is like the 7th or 8th remake of the Ghost of Kasane Swamp, and then the Demon of Mount Oe, which is probably the big effects extravaganza of the thing, where at one point a girl gets kidnapped by a giant supernatural water buffalo, which is like a dude in a suit because it's tokusatsu stuff. And there's a giant fire-breathing spider marionette that attacks some people at one point. That's pretty awesome. And let's see. Two more. So Dracula, Prisoner of Frankenstein, which is Jess Franco doing Universal Monster Rally. And it's fucking baffling and wonderful. and just funny. And, the more I watch Jess Franco movies, the more of them I've seen. What you think of the first few movies as, oh, these are funny because they're bad, you kind of start to see a common thread that this is his sense of humor. Like, he's doing this shit on purpose because he thinks it's funny too. And there's some stuff in this one that there's just no way he did this with a straight face. And then, the more you read about Jess Franco and his personality, and see interviews with him and stuff, like, yeah, he's having fun too. This isn't just a guy who doesn't know how to make movies. This is just a guy who's making movies to entertain himself, and he doesn't give a shit if anyone else thinks they're good or not.
Awesome. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. And so last one, a friend, Tad's and my friend Michael Rowland sent me a link for this saying, what is this? It's this lost media thing. Well, it kind of is and it kind of isn't. It's called Dinosaur Fights Against Cosmic Men, which is a Taiwanese patch job of 3 episodes of the Japanese tokusatsu children's show Monster Prince, stuck together with a lot of the Japanese characters removed and replaced with Taiwanese actors filling in the plot. So it's about this kid who, as an infant, is lost in a plane crash, washes up on an island in the South Pacific, and is raised by fire-breathing brontosauruses, with whose help he then, as he gets older, helps to save the Earth from both alien invasion and a fire-breathing King Kong. And the dub is, and I think the dub is original to this Taiwanese version, so that's part of why this is a lost thing, because it's different than the episodes that you would have seen on TV of Monster Prince. This dub is the funniest fucking dub I have ever seen in my life, hands down. Like, it's and it's on YouTube, so you guys got to check this thing out. It's just absolutely baffling.
Sounds awesome.
So that's what I've watched. Tad,
Fantastic.
how about you?
I also saw Good Boy, and I really enjoyed it. I had seen trailers and stuff, but I did not exactly know what to expect. If that
Oh,
makes
you
any
hadn't
sense.
heard that it was from the dog's viewpoint?
Well, I knew that, but I didn't.
Oh.
I thought maybe it was like a slasher or home invasion.
Mm-hmm.
It was much. I don't know. I think much darker than that. It was very emotional.
Yeah. Also fun to see Larry Fessenden pop up. It's always a
Yeah,
little
random-
surprise
random-
when he shows up. Yeah.
random sort of cameo. And I saw some. I'm gonna do what Mike did. I watched some. Halloween 2. I saw Devil's Rejects back in theaters on the big screen. I still love it. Rob did this sort of. He filmed an intro for it for Fathom Events. Which was sort of cool. He talked a little bit about it and why, and 20 years later. It's crazy. That was cool. And good turnouts for like a Monday and Wednesday night. And let's see, Freddy vs. Jason with Joe Bob. That was fun. Nightmare on Elm Street with Joe Bob. That was fun. On AMC. And then I watched Bring Her Back with Nikki last night to ruin her night.
Is it as hard of a watch as it looks?
It's hard. It's rough, but the second time wasn't as rough for me. But I don't think
it's fine, Jason. It's not that bad.
Okay. The trailer makes it scares me. So.
Just keep in mind who's telling you that it's not
right.
that
You remember
bad.
You're on the Brian Clark scale. Yeah, I don't think Nikki had as big of a like emotional reaction as I did, but the new stuff I watched. First, I will say I posted this in the Attackers group chat. So if you have not become an attacker, you're missing out on this. But Gushers put out a new horror short called Fruithead. Did any of you click that link and watch it when I sent it?
No.
Hell no.
10 minutes, and it's fucking great. It's about, I'm sure you guys remember the Gushers commercials in the 90s where these kids would eat a Gusher and their head would turn into a fruit. Like the kid eats a grape one and his head turns into a grape and strawberry or whatever. But like the story is that one of these kids, his head didn't turn back, so he comes looking for the director of this commercial. And it's played 100% straight. It has Bradley Whitford in it, which he's fantastic in this. You know, from Get Out, Cabin in the Woods, Godzilla. He's great, and he plays the director in this. And it's a dead serious 10-minute horror short by Gushers.
That's awesome.
Do they still make Gushers?
They do, and now like a thing is like people are like freeze drying them and doing all that shit. You know. I'm trying to like Mike Diva directed it, and he did a bunch of other horror shorts that look really good, but I have not seen any of them. But it's really cool. Check that out. It's on YouTube, and I could not believe how well made it was for a Gushers short horror film. Other new stuff I watched: Night of the Reaper, based on Mr. Bill Fisher's recommendation, and this is really good. It's a Shudder original. It's about I can't really say much without spoiling it, but it's definitely like a cool like whodunit, small town murders start happening, going after the babysitter type thing, but it has some unique twists to it. I highly recommend it. It's on Shudder. Add that to your year-end list. And I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's really... And, of course, obviously, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Watched that on Saturday night, but sort of didn't watch it because I'm busy spraying and throwing toast. And I'm always amazed how many, like, every year I worry about, like, oh, ticket sales are down this year. And then people show up the night of, and it's like, how do we have a full stage going off the stairs into the crowd of virgins? Like, it blows my mind every year.
Yeah, same here. Every year I'm like, okay, surely this year there's only going to be like 4 or 5 and I can like really do a cool little virgin show. But every year it's like, 10 to 25 people up on that stage. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right. Yeah, I just and one funny note at our theater, Cody really wanted to host it again this year, so let him. And Cody's a very tall drag queen. And my friend Cody, and so we had a Nightcap, which is the bar next to the Capitol. We had a very classy jazz night with an instructor actually at my college, very talented musician playing saxophone with his jazz trio from like 8 to 10, and then Rocky Horror started at 10, so there was some crossover. And I'm texting Cody, and I'm like, trying to sort of be subtle, and I'm like, hey, if it's raining outside, if you want to come in through the alley, just shoot me a text. He's like, I think I'm good. I'm like, I could just meet in the alley so you don't get rained on. He's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. So he shows up, and he uses the dressing rooms that we have back, but you have to walk through Nightcap to get to. So Cody walks through with a 2-foot rainbow mohawk, like a leather bondage like corset fishnets and a leather cod piece with a thong and like super high heels. He walks through the jazz night in that costume, which I was so happy for. Just because I imagined they were like, what is going on? But he did a great job, and it was always fun. But yeah, I did not get to see it myself, but I would have loved to seen him walk through that room and watch all the heads turn, because it would have just the juxtaposition of two very different events. And that to me is like, this is the Capitol, man. You can have jazz right next to this, whatever this is. And that's what I watched.
Hey, before we jump to the movies, can I just break in? There's something, because it wasn't on my letterbox, so I wasn't thinking, but I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Cinema Stomp was last Saturday. We watched Madman.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. And it was following our first ever little mini horror convention here in Mason City that Scott also put on. It was called the Little
cool.
Shopping Spree of Horrors. It was 6 of us. It was me and Scott, Jamie with Roadkill Custom, Audrey, who put on the Oddities Expo this summer she makes terrariums. And there was my friend Chad does 3D printed stuff. I bought a really cool face hugger from him, which I'll show off in the next horror hangout. And then Future Ghost Creations, which is like jewelry and stuff. And Scott was really worried about attendance, and I kept saying like, man, even if like people are going to come, but even if they don't, it's just friends hanging out all day and drinking beer and looking at each other's cool stuff. It's gonna be a good time. And then the turnout was really good. Like, it was crazy how successful it was, and there were a bunch of other events going on in town too, which may have helped. I guess maybe we got some cross traffic, but man, it was great.
Awesome. Cool.
So,
you think you guys will do it again then, or?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, sweet. All right, so I just want to say one thing I look for when watching films for the Halloween season are those ones that really put me in the mood, in the spirit of Halloween. Ones that truly feel like they take place in the season, like you can almost feel the fall air. You can almost smell the grease paint and candy throughout the streets. So we're going to see if these films hit that mark. Are these going to be films that will become part of our annual Halloween viewing traditions? I guess we're going to find out. Tad, what's our first film?
Our first film is the brand new installment in the VHS franchise, VHS Halloween.
Trick or treat! Creeping and crawling down your spine. That's it, touch your mind. I won't tell no lie.
Hello? Dude, are you seeing this? Where are we? Wait, what? Why is it boarded up? It's unhuman! It's unhuman! He's looking at me. Oh my god.
So if you have not seen any of the VHS films, hit pause and go check some out. This is one of those franchises that really does have, like, what is this fifth or sixth, seventh? I don't even know.
Yeah, I
Film
couldn't
in this-
tell you.
Film in this franchise, and because of the anthology, Jason's, are you counting them?
8 of them.
8? Wow.
Holy
So-
This is
shit.
the 8th one.
Yeah. So
Wow.
and these are all anthologies, so they are all over the place. And of course, the movies, I think people judge them based on like the collection of short films, and I love it because it's like a short film festival that has a wraparound every time they come out with one of these. And now that Shudder's sort of taken over the franchise with Bloody Disgusting, and they've been doing a new one almost every year, it's sort of a grab bag. And this one I feel is still pretty good. I like this one quite a bit, but I'll just sort of go over the segments very quickly. We have the wraparound, which is Diet Phantasma, which is a 80s style sort of documentary style film about haunted soda that is infused with poltergeist extract, and they're testing it on these children. And in between each of the segments and before and at the end, we get this wraparound about them doing this. And directed by Brian Ferguson, who is known to do music videos. He's done music videos for Garbage, Boy Harsher, Alice Glass, and a few short films. Scottish filmmaker. Not my favorite wraparound, but still had some really cool moments. We have Coochie Coochie Coo, which stars Rod Hutchinson. I mean, best joke in the group chat, but this one directed by Anna Zlovic, who made Appendage. And this is more of this one was really fun. Again, Halloween night, two girls decide to, they're out trick-or-treating. They go into this house, and this house turns out to have a creepy sort of barbarian vibe with a creature known as the Mommy and these infant-faced adults in diapers. Definitely creepy. We have Ut Supra Sic Infra, directed by Paco Plaza, who did the film Wreck. This one was really cool. An abandoned mansion in Madrid becomes the site of a brutal massacre at a Halloween party where all the victims' eyeballs are removed. And so they take him back, take him back, and there's a strange phone that rings. Really cool. Fun Size, directed by Casper Kelly, who did the series Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell and Too Many Cooks, one of my favorite things. This one was pretty fun. Sort of a nightmare candy factory type thing. Turns the victims into candy bars. Really cool concept. Kid Print by Alex Ross Perry, who did The Color Wheel and Her Smell, which is interesting that like this indie director that did things that aren't horror did a segment in VHS, but takes place in the 90s. The town is plagued by child and teen disappearances. Tim Kaplan runs a video store business creating kid print tapes for missing kids' identification. He and his wife try to stay safe for their daughters, and at a Halloween event, he discovers an employee has been using the tapes to locate kids to torture and murder them.
See, this is the only one. It's not that weird that this indie director did this one because it's the only one that isn't supernatural.
Yeah.
It's like totally based in reality, which, well, we'll get to. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, that pops back up in the trivia a little bit later, too. And then we have Home Haunt, which is Michelin Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. Let's see, they made the short film Grummy, which I've never heard of. They said for this segment they pitched to multiple ideas and producers opted for their most ambitious, wildest one, which is a husband, a wife, and a teenage son set up an elaborate home haunt every Halloween. The son resents it. The father finds a cursed record, Halloween horrors, to play during the haunt. The props animate. The haunt goes full homicidal, and the entrance monsters break free from the house. So yeah, I love that. I can't believe it took this long for them to do a Halloween one. I love that they're all set on Halloween. And just like every VHS movie, I feel like the segments are sort of all over the place. Some really fantastic. None really stood out as bad to me, just better than some of the others. And I love that, like, what I love about this franchise is you get some that are fun and sort of crazy, like Fun Size. And then you get, sort of more sick and dark, like Ut Supra Sic Infra. That was like very more serious and kid print. So I'm curious to hear if you guys, I really enjoyed this one overall. I don't know if I'd watch it every Halloween, but it definitely put me in that like Halloween mood.
All right, well, I'll go then. I think this is my favorite VHS movie.
Hell yeah.
the only segment that I felt didn't quite work was Coochie Coochie Coo. I think everything else was like outstanding. The scary ones were really effective and scary. The funny ones were really fucking funny. And I think that's why I didn't like Coochie Coochie Coo, because it tried to do both, and the funny wound up undercutting the scary. Either that, or they actually thought the mommy was scary and she wasn't, because she looked like Diedrich Bader.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
When the segment starts out, it's, you know, the girls going into the house and they're talking about this legend, but you know, we haven't really seen anything like that yet. And then when they circle around and find out the door is gone, then it adds this weird, like, other dimensional element. Like, they are now trapped in this place they'll never be able to get out of, even without the mommy being in there at all. That's terrifying. You don't need to be stalked by a supernatural creature to make starving to death in another dimension scary. But then we start to see the mommy, and the first shot of her, she's kind of like peeking around a corner, but way too high up the wall, like she's almost at the ceiling. And it's just kind of the backlit silhouette with these weird, like, not glowing eyes, but like when you catch an animal in the headlights, that kind of reflection. And if they had just stuck to that and never showed her and never shown any of the people turned into babies, I think
Yeah.
it would have been absolutely terrifying. But with, then you start, the more they show, the funnier it gets. And like I said, I'm not sure if they meant it to be funny, but it just kind of cut the legs out from under this effective stuff. And so that it didn't totally work. But Super Sick Info is probably my favorite of the segments.
Yeah, that was cool as hell.
The Wreck movie's really good too, but yeah, that
And it had that vibe of like a Wreck movie too, like
it did, yeah.
which is
And
just,
then that
yeah.
makes sense that, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to who directed what when I was watching it. I just kind of let it roll. So you saying it was Paco Plaza was the first I heard of it. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because that dude knows how to do found footage well. But yeah, that thing in the end with the, you know, the witch's squishing tower was pretty amazing. And the stuff with the phone, like, builds, especially the first time we see it, not when he goes back with the cops, but when he's there with his friends in the first place. And that one girl is like pleading, like in tears, don't touch that thing, because this isn't part of my joke. I don't know what's happening, but they all think she's fucking with him. And then it just sets the whole thing off. Fun Size, that one knows it's funny.
Yeah.
And because it just, and like a lot of times it's funny kind of in the same vein of humor as a Trauma thing, which is weird then that I like this so much, because usually I don't like that in Trauma, especially because this one belabors the jokes. You know, it does one of those things where, like, it's funny and then they just keep hitting you with it until it stops being funny. And then they keep hitting you with it and some more until it starts being funny again, or you've just been Stockholm syndrome into thinking it's funny. But like the bit with his dick getting turned into the candy bar, just, they just would not let that go. They kept zooming in on it. Shit. Kid Print was probably my second favorite one. That one's just brutal and nasty and mean. And it almost felt out of place in VHS world, because I feel like even the serious segments of these movies typically don't have this, have no supernatural anything. You know, they don't have that grounded where you just feel like you're watching a true crime documentary type of thing. But yeah, this one just really ground your face in the nastiness. It made you think about some real uncomfortable stuff without ever showing any of it. That's, again, you know, well done. Good filmmaking there. And then Home Haunt, again, that was just fucking, it was just gleeful. Remember the trailer, Beware Children at Play that we did for Trailer-thon from Beyond? It was just like 90 seconds of children dying. Well, this segment is like 12 minutes of, well, okay, it's about 10 minutes of the setup, and then like the end of it is just 2 minutes of children being slaughtered in gruesome, fun ways. I especially love the one that gets impaled on the witch's broomstick.
Hell yeah.
And then, yeah, the wraparound is great too. I thought I almost wish they would have done a little more with it, because it just, every time someone just explodes or starts on fire or whatever, and it felt like they were building to something that they never really paid off. But the discovery that it was like poltergeist extract was fun, I guess. So.
Jason, you want to go?
Sure. I don't know if I like any of these movies.
Oh.
I think, like, I watched...
Any of these segments, you mean?
No, any of these movies.
What?
Well, like, I get so mad at, like... It feels like, they're just exercises in editing, and it's like...
That's all found footage, right?
Yeah, it's bothersome that it's just like, oh, what effect are we gonna? We're gonna scratchy up this, and we're gonna jitterize that, and we're gonna cut this, and it's just like, it's not for me. I don't like it because it's all just fake, and I liked the. Diet Phantasma one was my absolute favorite of the one. I thought it did a good job of staying funny while being fucking gross as fuck, and like just people over the top exploding and dying and stuff. I thought it was hilarious and good. Man, I didn't like any of these segments, the movies either. I thought a lot of them were just not great acting, and like Fun Size was hands down my least favorite thing I've ever seen this year, probably.
Wow.
Oh man, it was such bad acting, and like that joke was done. I mean, it was I forgot the name of the fast food restaurant, Jack in the Box guy. What? So maybe it's just supernatural stuff. I just don't. I don't know.
It felt to me like a.
I hated him. He was
like
stupid. Why was he there and showing up? And
what do you call it? Analog horror, like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
backrooms type of thing. That's what it felt like to me. Is just this rant. It felt like a creepypasta, I guess. That's what I'm trying to get at.
And it makes sense being directed by an Adult Swim guy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Where then Kid Print was probably my actual favorite of the segments because it wasn't supernatural and seemed the most realistic.
See, I would have thought it was the opposite because I know
Oh, it's
Because
heavy.
it's
kids.
so mean.
It's heavy,
Yeah.
sure, but like compared to these other ones, that's how
you
much.
could have just saved your time and said "fuck them kids" and dropped the mic.
Yeah. Kind of. So, yeah, I don't. Sorry, guys. It's just not for me.
What happened to you? The boy who cried awesome is now
I know.
like the
hates
boy who
everything.
hasn't enjoyed anything
Wait till the
in
next
a while.
movie, guys.
No, he's now the boy who likes Japanese movies. So I guess we're gonna
And
have to
stuff
do
from the
another one of those.
70s. Who would have thought? Give me that 70s film. Yeah, but it's just I hate when I got to watch all this fake film scratches, and it's just all editing tricks, and it's like it doesn't. It just seems like a trick, and it's not. You're not telling me. You're just trying to play on my nostalgia versus write a good story. I
Do you
don't
think
know.
it's because of your filmmaking experience and like watching short films all the time that you're sort of like you're like the cook? And now you know how it's made, so you're like that was a cheap way of.
I completely think that that's part of it, for sure.
Follow-up question to that then. So do you just not like these particular stories? Like there times when there are a lot of editing tricks and things like that, but they're done well or in a way that you like, so it makes you appreciate that. Like, for example, being a writer, when I read a book, sometimes it's obvious that somebody's just being overly wordy because they want to show off and it's annoying and they sound pretentious.
Yeah.
And then there's something like reading Terry Pratchett where you're just like in awe of how he puts a sentence together.
Sure.
So does that happen to you too then? Are there instances in a movie where you would like this kind of thing?
I
If
don't
it was done
know.
differently?
I don't know because
Well, can I
think-
add to that question?
okay.
I'm just because what I'm thinking is when it's bad for you is when they take the lazy way out and do it all in post to make it look like nostalgia, as opposed to take like a film like Forgotten Silver, where they shot all that stuff on film, ran the prints like through the streets to get scratches on it, did everything they physically could to make it look like old film, versus just, we'll just put some filters on it. Does that kind of go more in tune with what you're thinking, or you just hate it all?
I don't know.
You remember Forgotten
Oh
Silver?
yeah,
Right? Okay.
but I'm thinking to like the one movie that's two movies that we say is one movie, the Grindhouse. Like I don't know if I liked it then. Like I don't.
Yeah, but those are filters, though.
Yeah, it all.
Yeah,
is.
it's all shot digitally and done with filters. Like if maybe, I don't know, just saying, if VHS movies were shot on VHS and then like to degenerate it, make a dub after the dub after the dub, as opposed to like, we'll just add filters to it. Would that give it at least a little more?
I guess,
know.
but I'll just back up and say that I don't like any of the stories. Then
Well, that's that's
'cause-
valid too. I'm
'cause,
just
like,
I'm
you're
just curious.
I feel a lot of times it's just let's polish a turd. So just not for me.
No, I didn't ask that question by way of like
Yeah.
forcing you to defend your position because I disagree. I was just genuinely curious. Like,
No, with a lot of these, I really thought the acting was pretty bad in most of them, and I didn't care for the stories because it's supernatural, and I disconnect with those instantly anymore. And all I do is I just see, what filter's this? And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. You're just cheating to edit it here, and you're not as cool as you think you are, is what I think a lot of times. But hey, but I love movies. This is great. I am the boy who cried awesome.
Well, I think
I don't
as
know.
far as the performances go, too, from my end of it, like the older you get, the less connect you have to like youth in these type of films. Because I'm going back to Coochie Coochie Coo. Well, I guess most of them that have like the teenagers in it, they just annoy the piss out of me. So when bad stuff is happening to them, I don't care about them.
Yeah,
And
I think
I
I was
think
with
that's just the
Brian
way-
on that one where it was mostly cool. I mean, what you said's true too, but once they started showing everything, it's like, this is dumb. This doesn't even make sense. How is this? How did this?
the more they tried to explain it, the dumber it got.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just
Yeah.
there's this thing that gets you. That's all you need.
And therefore, you're only as good as your worst moment. Like the best moment doesn't make this thing good. Your worst moment is what makes it the bad. I guess I don't know.
There is a lot more to storytelling than just bizarre, interesting, or disturbing visuals.
I'm just not going to say something's awesome because the awesome moment was awesome, but
Yeah.
the whole thing was not awesome. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
not as.
I-
That's all.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on it. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of this one myself either. I think it's the worst one out of the franchise for me, just because there's not a single story here that I really liked. Usually there's a bunch
Wildly
of
varying.
Yeah. Wow.
yeah. Maybe I'm just crotchety old man, but whatever.
It did the thing that you wanted. I think it. Felt very Halloween-ish.
That I'm going to argue with that too. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
like that's in my notes that and I can't quite put my finger on it, but this, out of the 3 films, you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this probably based on the second film, this gives me the least amount of Halloween feels.
Well, I probably agree with that too. But
Oh, okay. Because for me, the Halloween, and especially when you have a franchise called VHS, and I'm not saying that they have to always adhere to the VHS thing, even though
Sure.
part of me wants to say that out loud with every one of their films. That's fine. But when you do the Halloween one, and for me, going back to the feelings I want for Halloween, which is from my childhood, low quality VHS shot on VHS is what instantly brings back some of those childhood memories to me, like
Yeah.
watching Count Morbius on Channel 8 on Saturday nights, or stuff like that. And I feel like this is just another one that really misses the mark on the original concept of this franchise, and that is stuff on VHS. And also, like, dude, like, Jason, could you agree with me on this one? It felt like the majority of these, maybe not all of them, but a lot of these, just the whole last 5 minutes, it's just shaky camera running and screaming, and they just all devolve into the same thing. They can all be so different, like Fun Size or Coochie Coochie Coo, but at the end of the day, they all end in the last 2 or 3 minutes the exact same way.
yeah, I do. It's just it's relying on gimmick. I don't know.
And maybe I'm harsher on this one because the whole thing started off with bad taste in my mouth. Like, I did not like the wraparound because
Oh.
that was the most repetitive thing
Oh, sure.
I've ever seen. Just every time we cut back to the wraparound, it's 2 more people getting killed by a can of soda, and it just felt like the same thing over and over and over again. And then when you get into Coochie Coochie Coo, it's it just feels like there's just things to be gross for gross sake, like the mom constantly lactating, which, I mean, I thought it was
Gross.
hilarious, and gross, yeah, but not creepy or anything. Just like, hey, milk everywhere is scary, right? No, not really. And
Yeah,
also,
I'm lactose intolerant. Okay.
Oh, now we know.
this is
why
true. No
it's
worry, you like
tense.
that one, yeah.
Oh, nightmares he had.
And and again, I hated those 2 girls so much by the time we get into the house that I didn't care what happened to them, and I was disconnected from any of it being generally creepy or scary. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Brian. The whole idea of, like, they turn around and the door is gone. I love that stuff. Like, that's why Grave Encounters is one of my favorite of all found footage films, because I feel like that does those ideas the best, of being, like, literally trapped, like you said, in another dimension with no way out because the doors are gone. But yeah, and again, like, I agree with you. The creepy baby stuff was not creepy. It was more comical, and it's and also too, like, we live in a world now that who in their right mind would just go into a random creepy house? I'm just saying. So yeah, I just honestly wasn't a big fan. I mean, I appreciate Fun Size. I thought it was funny. I thought it was imaginative, but then again, it just kind of turns into the same thing at the end as a lot of the others. That might be just my favorite. That could also be biased because I'm a fan of the director. But yeah, it wasn't for me either.
Very widespread on that one. Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Chad.
That's
Go
why
ahead.
this podcast is fun. This is why we do this, right?
Yeah.
But I will apologize for the next one in advance.
Yeah, that's a good call there.
Okay.
Not as bad as Cool Cat, but
Especially since I suggested a movie that's basically the same goddamn thing but good.
Yeah, it's
Well,
no
before
Cool
we
Cat.
get into it, what trivia do you have for VHS, Tad?
Oh yeah. So I think this is what Brian might have been hinting at, but Kid Print was a free service offered by Blockbuster Video in the mid-90s. Participating stores had a kiosk that children stood in front of that showed their height, and the staff would use a VHS camera to record a short video of them speaking basic information about themselves. Parents could take home the tapes to use for ID purposes in case their children went missing.
That's dark.
So
What?
based on reality.
Wow.
In the home haunt segment, this is not really trivia, but y'all recognize someone with a long white ponytail, Mr. Rick Baker.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it and I was like, is that fucking Rick Baker?
I
Sure
love
enough.
how he proceeds to then just give the guy shit for how bad his props look the whole time.
Yes, that's perfect. He's the grumpy neighbor, Rich. And then this is just sort of a fun little nod. I don't know if it's intentional, but you might have noticed in the Supra Sick Infra, one of the Halloween costumes is a fire chief's uniform, which made me think of Wreck. So I don't know if that's trivia or a fun little nod, or just because that's a standard, like, what do adults wear at Halloween parties? Firemen. But I thought it might be a little nod, so that's what I have.
Excellent. All right. So, the moment we've all been waiting for. Brian, what's our next film?
The next movie is 1991's Scary Movie.
It's a quiet Halloween night. For just a few dollars, this place offers more than a few thrills.
This year, we're going to give more than their money's worth.
Are you going to get a ticket, or are you going to get a ticket?
Psycho killer escapes on Halloween night. Yeah, right.
I must have taken a wrong turn, or
Dang right you took a wrong turn, or.
Where was that cool ass music in this fucking movie? Anyway, cringy, cowardly weirdo Warren has been having nightmares of being stalked by a Grim Reaper figure, and so goes to a local haunted house with some friends to try to get over his fears. But an escaped insane asylum patient has been spotted heading their way, and will their paths converge? Spoiler, no.
That is a spoiler. Come on.
You give a spoiler warning at the beginning of the show, man. That's what
true.
it's for.
This is true.
And actually, that ending is the only good thing about this, other than John Hawkes' performance as Warren. So John Hawkes is when I didn't even recognize him right away, and then Terry goes, "Oh, that's John Hawkes," and I was like, "Fucking who?" But I didn't recognize him because he's so young in this.
They used it like on all the stuff. It's like Academy Award nominee or winner John Hawkes.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
this was, of course, before. And apparently the director had seen him. He did a lot of theater work around Austin, and they liked that. He'd had a few screen credits before, but yeah, this was probably his first leading thing.
I'll throw the. I have this in my notes. John Hawkes is doing his best DJ Qualls impersonation in this film.
What? They both have big noses. Be nice.
And so his performance is really good, but it almost because he's so much better than anyone else in the movie, it almost feels like he's overacting because no one else is acting at all.
I could see that. Yeah.
Butch Patrick is briefly in it. I guess he's fun, but yeah, he really sells especially at the very end when he's gone completely over the deep end, and you find out that. No, the insane asylum escapee guy, like his ambulance crashed. He actually didn't try to escape, and he's actually a really nice guy and offers the cop who finds him a flower. Meanwhile, Warren has got himself worked up into such a tizzy that he's killed a guy.
He's killed the sheriff.
Two guys. He chopped a guy's hand off with a scythe, and he killed the sheriff. But I enjoyed that twist because at least it did something somewhat creative, almost more of an EC Comics ending than a full-on horror movie ending, right? Like kind of a surprise twist, come up and sort of thing. But I guess the rest of it just felt like you spent so much. Like if this was half an hour long, it probably would have been fine. But there was not enough stuff here pad out a whole movie. And most of the movie, they're not even in the haunted house. They're standing in
Yeah,
a line.
it's in the
how
line.
long is the fucking line for this haunted house?
Right?
You've never been to Horror Nights.
I did love that guy.
This is far from Horror Nights, though.
I love that big beardy guy in the red shirt who just kept laughing
laughing the whole
directly into the camera. But the character of Warren, I said he was like cowardly, fraidy cat kind of guy, and he was apparently based on a combination of Ichabod Crane and particularly the John Lithgow version of Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Oh, nice! I could totally see that.
They were aiming for that level of paranoia.
Yeah.
And that was successful because my first thought when we start to see him like behave in the movie, because the first part of it he's just asleep and dreaming, but I thought it was like his nerves are more jittery than a Lovecraft protagonist. Like where he's just on the verge of madness from the get-go because he's just such a craven little twerp. But at least when they spend so much time wandering around and looking at all the haunted house stuff, at least it looks cool. And that was because the haunt was designed by a legendary Austin concert poster artist named Danny Garrett. He did concert posters for Stevie Ray Vaughan, Willie Nelson, Warren Zevon, all these huge rock and roll and country and big names. When they'd come through Austin, he'd design their concert flyers. And because this movie was apparently a really big deal around Austin, like tons of interviews with local papers and stuff, like because Austin has such a big art scene anyway, right? So everyone just thought it was so cool that this feature horror film was made right here in Austin with a bunch of locals. And
Yeah, I'll spoil like one of the two pieces of trivia about this. In 91, Austin City Council and Mayor Bruce Todd made a proclamation declaring October 18th Scary Movie Day, calling on all citizens to recognize the considerable contributions made by scary movies to the Austin movie industry, to the professional careers of the film's all Austin cast and crew, and to the leisure enjoyment of scary movie enthusiasts across America for this movie that went missing for God knows how many years until AGFA picked it back up and put out a Blu-ray.
Yeah, they probably should have left it missing. And hearing stuff like that makes me feel bad about how much I kind of hated it, because I love that spirit of just a bunch of local people getting together and making a horror movie and getting it out there for distribution. Like that's generally the kind of movie I love. In fact, Tad mentioned that when I was talking about it in our chat. That he's like, oh man, this looked like something that would be right up your alley. And yeah, it kind of does, but it wasn't. Anyway.
Sure wasn't.
Well, I liked it. And let me tell you, I had seen this before. So when I watched it for the show, I went back and checked my Letterboxd on it. And back then I gave it 2.5. So I'm trying to remember. I must not have liked it the first time watching it. But I know this movie, honestly, has not really left my brain since. So I'm suggesting, guys, that we do another episode where we rewatch this movie. Maybe a year from now, and you guys will like it. No? Oh, fine. I don't know. It's definitely very long in the tooth for what it is. It would definitely have made a much better like Tales from the Dark Side episode or something. But there's a lot of little things in here that I enjoy. Well, first off, John Hawkes, hands down. I love him. He's probably has become one of my favorite character actors, and the fact that he gets to star in this movie, he's not just a side character this time. So that just makes me happy. Anytime you have a movie where the title shows up on the screen and there's a UPC code underneath it, you're in for a good time.
That's never been done before.
It needs to be done more often. I also love... What?
I'll just go ahead and, while we're on that topic, spoil the other piece of trivia I have. Under the movie title during the opening credits is the display barcode 0430002300107, which is associated with Kraft rice products.
What is there? Is there a reason for that? Because I was
No
so
idea.
confused when that title card came up. I assumed it
No
was
idea.
going to have some relevance later in the movie.
Nope.
And yeah, it's just weird.
Stole it from some food. Didn't even change it.
Oh, that
Go
makes
ahead,
me
Mike.
love it even more. Thank you for that. I love how we get a film made in 1991 that looks like it was made in 1981. That's always good.
Yep.
It's got some great lines in it, guys. Come on. Do you need a salt shaker when she's pulling stuff out of her purse? That was classic. And I want this on a t-shirt. You make me want to crap green onions. Come on. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely there you go.
There we go. On cue.
Did not give you a long enough pause there. Got it. Yeah, I can't remember who said it before. I guess Brian. I don't remember, but like there's just more time spent in the line for the haunt than the actual haunt itself, which got me thinking. Like, I mean, if you could like write some really good dialogue for this movie, that alone could have been a fun movie of just these people just waiting in line to get into this haunted attraction.
And
I
then
would
just
like to
one
see
giant
that done
beardy guy
well.
who's just scream laughs at them every time they say something.
Yeah. There's some kind of cool shots in this. I really liked at the beginning of the film, it's daylight out and it cuts to the shot of the windmill, and then it wasn't even really a dissolve. It just turns into that same shot, but at night. And I thought that was a really cool looking shot, the way they transitioned it from day to night.
I liked in the beginning, there was right in the opening, maybe before credits or right after credits, it goes to a shot of what you see is the moon through some trees. And you're like, oh, that's a neat exterior shot. Nope. And then it moves, and it's some lady painting a mural on a barn thing.
I thought you were going to be
really cool.
sarcastic and
No.
say it's really cool and
I like
then
that
like shit
shot.
on it.
No, I like that shot.
Cool. Good. So there's a little bit of nuggets in there.
One
Not
shot
enough,
is
I
not
guess, for
enough.
everybody. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the ending I thought was very clever. I mean, it's a slasher movie that's not a slasher movie at all. So I really appreciate that. I think it's something that was very different for the slasher genre. I mean, it came 10 years too late, but I still really liked it for that. And I don't know, any movie will automatically get like 5 stars from me if it takes place in a haunted attraction, especially if the haunted attraction is interesting looking. And I thought there was some really cool stuff both on the outside and the inside of this haunted attraction. So yeah, sorry guys, I like this one. Deal with it.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that, but
How to deal with it?
yeah.
Yeah, me neither. It's
Well,
okay.
Go ahead.
I own this on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Yeah, so
All the stuff that
I know
they put up for sale, and this is what you buy.
does not seem like a Tad movie either. I know, and I think it's because I had read about this movie like before it became a thing. Like I remember reading about this lost film. I think it was maybe Elijah Wood talking about how he remembers watching it back in the day in this like lost film, and then the story of Agfa finding it and putting it out there, and just the behind the scenes stories, and it's just young Hawks and haunted house and nobody. It's just like I think I like the story behind it probably more than the actual movie itself, but I think, yeah, I do enjoy it. It's not perfect by any means. And watching the Blu-ray, one thing that really bothers me is the audio. You get the hiss on like every S. It's like blown out.
Yeah, that's
Little things like that drive me nuts because it's like you put this on Blu-ray, restored, you found it, and it's not. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. But I think it just reminds me of like some friends, hanging out, making a fun horror movie about them staying. It's like if Haunt was made with no budget or something. It's like I don't know what
compare this to Haunt.
Hey, sorry, but at the time, 90s, shot on video pretty much like this. I don't know. This is cool. I just love the concept of it. To me, it gives me the Halloween vibes. It's, as someone who went to a lot of sort of shitty haunted houses, some of it is like, this is actually, for as crappy as a haunted house should be, it's like, that takes me out of it. It's like, oh, you have this and that. But I don't love it. I won't defend it, but I enjoy it.
One more thing I want to say too. I said it's slow. It is slow paced, but honestly, to me, it was never boring. Only because there's just so much weird stuff or bad stuff going on that it kept me entertained. Again, like when she's digging through her purse and she's pulling out like salt shakers and cucumbers, and I'm like, what is this scene about? And it captivates me. I dig that stuff.
Is that because you never got an answer to what that scene was about?
Exactly. Yes.
No,
It's
bad.
just
That's a bad.
It's
thing.
just weird. It is a bad thing, but I'm just saying, I am captivated by it, and so because I'm watching a movie that's poorly written and poorly performed, where 30 minutes of it are people standing in a line, I could say I wasn't bored because it had dumb, weird stuff like that in it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
and I apologize earlier. I said straight to video shot. No, this was shot on 16 millimeter because the Blu-ray has a 2K preservation from the original 16 millimeter camera negative. Where's that cricket button?
Nice. Well, I was just going to say, when it started, I was instantly, from the first frame of seeing John Hawkes, I knew it was him. I was like, I didn't know he was in it. So I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And even like the first 10 minutes, I was really liking it because it felt like just a PF movie, that was better. And, but then, it didn't take long because, this movie's awful, guys. I don't know why you say anything good about it. There's most of this movie is just no dialogue of just standing there looking at something off this camera. The dialogue is so few far between. It's so poorly acted. My microphone's off? Okay. That's good.
No, we can hear you. We're letting you have your piece.
Oh, then I'll just shut up then, because this movie sucks and it's bad, and no story about it's going to make it any better than it is, because I didn't like it. But hey, whatever. Not for me. That's what I should have said.
For once, it's Jason and me on the same side. That's maybe, are we in another dimension? Have you checked? Are your doors still there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it while I was sick, so maybe that helped. But no, it was the most boring thing I've ever seen. Just literally, shots just held on him just staring, and we're like, what? And I'm like,
watching him go slowly mad inside his own head.
Yeah, but it made him look terrible and not good. I'm like questioning if he was even good in this, because he was bad too. It was bad. It needed editing. It needed anything. I hated it. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Did you already do all your trivia for this one?
Yeah, that's all I really had on it, and outside of just saying just the backstory, which is, there's not a whole lot of trivia on it other than the story on it being a huge deal in Austin and them making it a big thing, and then it just went away for who knows 20 years, 25 years, and AGFA did its thing and tracked it down and put it out.
All right then. So Jason, what's our next film?
Our next film comes in from 2007, and it's not starring Ozzy Osbourne. This is Trick or Treat.
During the spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and goblins should follow. Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. And never go out alone.
this is the one night that all sorts of things roam free. Sorry. All these traditions. Wait.
What?
You're supposed to keep it lit.
Why?
Ancient tradition? Putting on costumes,
I look like I'm 5. You look great. What did we do now? We meet our dates.
jack-o'-lanterns.
Why are we here? To pay our respects to the dead?
The Halloween school bus massacre.
They've started to protect us, but
Morning, guys. How are you doing down there? Hiding buddies?
nowadays, no one really cares.
This one's still lit.
What is that?
It's them.
Oh my God.
Look at me. It's not a trick. It's real.
Tonight is about respecting the customs, not breaking them.
A devilishly delightful dose of Halloween horror, dripping with atmosphere, attitude, and autumn air. Written and directed by Michael Dougherty, this 2007 anthology stitches together 5 frightful fables, all unfolding on one sinister, candy-coated night. We've got school teachers with secrets, kids with killer plans, werewolves in disguise, and at the center of it all, a pint-sized pumpkin-headed protector of Halloween's sacred rules, Sam. Each story bleeds into the next, blending trickery and terror, sweetness and sin, until the whole thing feels like a haunted love letter to the holiday itself. With every glowing jack-o'-lantern, every crunch of fallen leaves, and every sinister smile, Trick or Treat reminds us why we love October. It's playful, it's punishing, it's perfectly Halloween. To go with what Mike said at the beginning, this is definitely when someone asks me what do you watch every Halloween or try to watch every October, this one's always on my list of one that I have to try to watch anyway, and I'm glad it made it on the show, so I had to watch it and I had to make time for it. So,
But you said you hated it.
I did.
You said you hated all the movies tonight.
I did.
At the big
when we were talking about VHS, and,
I just
you were
said the
even
next one.
asked to correct. Did you mean the segments? And you're like, no, the movies.
He was talking about the VHS franchise.
I'm just happy that
I
I was about ready to throw hands, Jason. Thank you.
I meant all the VHS movies. Yeah.
Okay. We're on a good page. Continue.
I love this movie. I think it actually gets better every time I watch it.
Yeah,
I agree with that for sure. Absolutely, 100%.
Like from production value to all the little the animated sequences in between, or the comic book style sequences, are always like, fuck, those are tight. They look so good. And like I get more impressed with the set design and production value. It feels I don't remember how I was going to say it earlier, but it's done so well. This last time, I'm like, I think I get confused every time with the wonderful storytelling of it all, where it's not linear, and I'm like, wait, did this happen when? When did this happen? Are you sure that could have happened then? I think every time I get confused, but I don't care because it's so dang good. I love this movie a lot. I assume y'all do too.
Yeah, it's amazing that the guy who weaved this anthology together in such an interesting and complex way, so that all the stories are swooping in and out of each other throughout the runtime, and they all make so much sense and are so finely crafted. could miss the point of Godzilla by the span of a fucking galaxy and make such an incoherent mess as Godzilla King of the Monsters. Okay, rant over. Back to Trick or Treat. Sorry.
I think this time it might change, but I think the werewolves segment's my favorite. Man, when they literally shed their skin, it's just so badass.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Or I forget that it's the neighbor is the vampire half the time.
Yeah, it's like I do watch it every single year, and there's things I notice every single rewatch in the background of like, oh shit, there's like that character's here, and that character's there, and that character was at this too, and holy shit. Yeah, I think I've like seen all of them, and then yeah, it's like so fucking good.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say because I agree with literally everything you guys are saying. It's a staple of Halloween viewing. It is on the rotation every year. I also think it's I'm saying one of because, Creepshow's the best, but one of the best anthology films ever. To me, like a really good anthology also has to have a really strong wraparound. Not every segment has to hit 100%, but I feel like a good wraparound is just you got to have something that's going to tie everything together in a certain theme or a certain package, and not just feel like I'm watching a movie that is just a bunch of short films thrown together. And this has one of the best. It's not even really a wraparound. You can't even say that. It's just got one of the best anthology story structures of all time, and the fact that all the stories coexist with one another in the same town on the same night. And I mentioned this on a previous episode. I forget about what movie, but I just love when you're seeing the perspective of a story told in one direction and then you see it again later in another direction for some completely new information. And this movie has this in droves. You're seeing stories that you've already seen interacting in the background of the story you're currently seeing, and I just love that. And some of it's like super subtle. There's like moments that I still catch new, like seeing what's her name, Leslie. What's the actress's name at the very beginning? From the very beginning of the movie, she's in this cardboard robot suit, and you see it in the background in several of like the shots of the parade. And so just little things like that, and the fact that it's also so out of sequence that you're starting to put it all in chronological order in your head as the film continues. So that's some of my favorite stuff in the film, and it's hard for me to pinpoint any one particular favorite segment. And I feel like for me it rotates. Like this viewing, it's the kids in the quarry. Next time I watch it, it'll be the werewolf one. The next time I watch it, it'll be the principal and his son. And that's just because it's all solid. I don't think there is a bad one in the bunch when it comes to this film.
But yeah, most anthologies only interact with the wraparound. All of them interact with each other, and it's just so well done.
The thing I noticed this time a little, like I said, every time, the hot dog, like the teacher in the hot dog costume, when the kids go knock on the door and they see their teachers like grinding in the background or their parents and they're disgusted, he later ends up in the werewolf scene getting killed. But like it's just so like Doherty was saying, like I listened to the commentary and he's saying like it was literal hell to edit because they shot everything like I imagine it had to be hell to edit because like every segment has like somehow other segments within it, even the wraparound, which is not a wraparound with Sam, is like you have the neighbor carving the kid and you burying the kid in the backyard, and like everything has so many connections and little things. Reading through the trivia I'm finding and through the commentary I'm finding out that I never realized, but it's absolutely wild, the story behind it too, of like they shot this thing. Warner Brothers sat on it, and it was supposed to come out in like 2007. And the rumor is because they didn't want to compete with Saw, which was like every October we put out a new Saw movie and it dominates the box office. So they push it back and they don't know what to do with it. And they sat on it for like 2 or 3 years and then they just push it straight to DVD. It's like, fuck, this thing is so perfect. How do you not, and then and it's like, how many times does a straight to video movie become this juggernaut where you go to Spirit Halloween, you go anywhere, and like Sam for like 5 years was like the icon of Halloween over Michael Myers. It's you have Funko Pops, you have toys, you have costumes, you have sexy Sam costumes, you have food.
Yeah. And it's
everything.
still happening. Those products are still. I mean, I've got new Sam Pops in the store as in my store as I speak, and it's all from one movie.
One direct-to-video movie that never got a theatrical release.
Yeah,
and they've been trying since this came out to get the second one done, and I can't understand how people don't understand it's a license to print money. Like, I literally don't know anybody who doesn't like this movie.
They announced it, I remember, at like a screening, like 10th anniversary screening, 10 years ago. They announced it after the movie when they're doing a Q&A. Doherty said, and it's officially greenlit. And then, like 2 months later, Legendary was sold, and so everybody, all the staffing, everything changed. And then they've been asking him like every 6 months, when's it happening? And he keeps saying, we just got to get the script right. This right. It's like, I wonder if he just cannot figure out. I think it's the pressure of like, and it's only going to get worse. The longer it builds up.
I always assumed it was just there was no money coming through for it, but.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it has to be like printing money. It's like they see the merchandising alone. Even if it's just you put this thing out direct to video, you were absolutely the studio Warner Brothers had to know. Oh fuck, we were absolutely wrong. This thing is crazy. We got to get this thing a sequel greenlit. And it hasn't been too long, obviously, because like you said, you can go to like Walmart and you see Sam stuff. It's crazy, but.
What'll happen is we will get a new movie once that merchandise stops selling. When Sam becomes...
it'd be too late and people won't care anymore.
Yeah, and that's the way it's going to happen because like that's the only way studios make any money off of these properties anymore. It's the merchandising and not the movies themselves.
But do we also agree that we also hope that nothing gets made and
kind of?
I want a series.
Special thing.
Yeah. I think it would lend itself to like a Tales from the Crypt anthology series, like a weekly.
Hey, you're getting more Tales from the Crypt this weekend. Calm down.
How's that?
Aren't they making new episodes? I thought I read somewhere there was a series coming out this week.
That was AI fake slap stuff.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, we don't get any new that. We get new It, but
Yep.
I would love an anthology series, like not on like Sci-Fi Channel. Like give me HBO or something. Someone good, that's going to treat it with respect and give them a budget. But it'd be cool to have like Sam as your crypt keeper, and he sort of tells a different Halloween tale every week,
without speaking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have him talk.
Just
like
wander through the background of each episode and like steal a piece of candy off someone's counter or something.
Right, like I love in the Quarry Kids, which is my favorite segment. When he like is sitting on that big like cement sewer pipe in the background, you know what I mean? Like just watching, like, or and he pops up and he takes a piece of candy from the kids earlier in the segment. Like he doesn't need to necessarily be a plot point to that story. He just is like the keeper of this thing and making sure everyone's following the rules, and that's what I would love about it. Like, give us, there's so many. And they do you guys remember like I think it was FearNet, like they did those they showed a 24 they did what TBS does for Christmas Story, and they showed this movie for 48 hours or whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And they filmed with Michael Dougherty these fantastic commercials. They're all on the Arrow Blu-ray or the 4K, and these fantastic commercials where Sam is celebrating Easter, Sam is back to school, Sam is Father's Day. They're all fucking great. They're so good. And I'm like, God, why can we get these fantastic commercials but not like a series or a movie or anything? And maybe at this point, like you guys are right, like it'll never live up to the hype. So, let it be its own thing. And lightning struck, once, and it's like, we can't ask more of it, because it became like one of those things where I became associated with the movie so much that like I started, people, because I handmade a costume, I loved it, I have all the collectibles. It got to a point where I'm like, I'm not buying the slippers, I'm not buying the everything, every plushie. I just can't keep up with it, and that's okay. But it's like so fucking cool to see this little thing blossom, and then Doherty's career sort of took off from it, and but it just was in theaters 2 nights ago. They completely remastered his little short film that it was based on, Season's Greetings.
Oh, cool.
Just really cool stuff, and it's like, if we can still put this out however many years later in theaters and for 2 nights and it sells out, like, why aren't we getting more of it? I don't know, but
another moment of the film that stood out to me in this viewing, not that I'd never noticed it before, but there's always just this little gem here and there that after a viewing, I take away from it. So, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Jason. This is dedication for you on your hatred for Scary Movie, and how you were saying that the purse scene has no relevance later. I love that moment in Trick or Treat where the 3 kids are trick or treat at the drunk teacher's house, or whoever that lady was in the cat suit, and the one girl asks if she could take a pumpkin, or was that at the principal's house? I don't remember, but she asked to take a pumpkin, and you're like, well, you just think that's a little throwaway line, but that comes back into play when she's talking about how they brought 8 pumpkins as an offering to the kids that drowned. And so it's cool little moments like that just makes this movie work so well.
Has a connection.
Yeah.
And little things like even this go around, like when they say something about the main sort of virgin-y girl, the final girl of the werewolf group, they call her like the runt, and then because she's a wolf. Fun little things like that, and like you said, it's so meticulously detailed and connecting everything. And the shot of like, they use a miniature for the bus going, off the cliff and stuff. But it looks so good. And the kids are so fucking cool in that scene when they're going down the school bus. That shot of them going down the middle of the school bus with all the kids in the masks. Like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It is like pure fucking Halloween.
The way it's shot and the performances of those kids and the way those costumes are designed, like each one of those elements on their own wouldn't work, but the way it's all put together, those little kids are creepy as fuck in those outfits.
And you get like the bus driver sort of like scene. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That whole flashback scene is just freaking amazing. Like you said, the bus going over the cliff. It's just one of the most, like, I don't know what to call it. It's just such a cool shot. And that's got another moment in there too that you at first viewing you're not going to pick up on it, but they do a close up shot of the bus driver in the mirror looking up at the kids, then a close up shot of his hand on the steering wheel, which he kind of grips the steering wheel, so you're like, okay, this shot is telling me that there's something coming. This is an intense moment for the school bus driver. No, what that shot is really showing you is the ring on his finger that is on Brian Cox's finger at the end of the film. Oh my God.
Right. Really? Oh, and they, like Brian Cox, he sort of like shaped this character a little bit. He wanted to look and sort of be like modern day John Carpenter. But he added like this wheezing, sort of like the way he breathes, like he's hard of breathing. So they went back and added that to the bus driver when he's crawling out of the water. Nice. Like in post, they added him like sort of wheezing. And like I read that in trivia. I'm like, I didn't even catch that little details like that. Mm-hmm. It's just so much in the scene where they go to Rhonda's house and she has all the pumpkins. That is just like beautiful. Again, pure Halloween, but again, like you said, trying to collect all the pumpkins. Okay, we know this girl who loves pumpkins. Let's go to hers, and just pure. I just fucking love this movie. So cool.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the reveal of Sam's face? I assume
it's okay. Yeah, it's one of those like it's never gonna live up to what you have in your brain. So.
If you rewatch again, they reveal it in the opening credits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like those like that sort of comic book opening.
Oh, okay.
There's a shot of Sam, but Michael Dougherty apparently in an interview was talking about like if they did a sequel, he wants to show the, which might be something that I'm curious to hear what you guys think. He wants to show the origins of Sam, which in his brain, because he's created the character, he created him for Season's Greetings. He is born in a pumpkin patch, like, and he saw this old Norman Rockwell painting of this big pumpkin patch of all these pumpkins that are coming to life, and one of them is carving itself, and that's where the inspiration from Sam came from. And the idea is like this pumpkin patch where this pumpkin comes to life and becomes a keeper of all, like the Great Pumpkin. It becomes this keeper of all things Halloween. And I'm like, I don't know if I need an origin story. I sort of like that we don't. But I do think it's such a cool design, and when he shoots him in the head and the seeds go everywhere, really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just goofing around on a website now, and I just looking up stuff, and it says his name as Sam Hain, and this whole time I'm like, what? I never even
put that together.
Never put that together either. Yeah. That's just awesome.
I want to say one more thing about the bus scene. My favorite creepy kid costume in that is the paper bag with the human teeth.
Yeah. I like the Dracula. I've always liked the Dracula half face.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're all, like I said, cool. But... And
I have all the masks except for the paper one. Like Spirit Halloween made all the masks a few years ago.
Oh nice. And, you could just make your own paper mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Brian hate this movie? He hasn't said anything in a while.
No, you guys have been going to town.
We don't let him speak because I'm just that's gushing
fine.
My love for this fucking thing.
I mean, I agree with everything you guys have been saying, so I didn't really need to chime in.
I got to unwrap the new Arrow 4K that I got last year at the end of Halloween season, and I was like, it's a modern movie. This might be the movie I own the third most copies of, right behind probably Army of Darkness and Halloween, because I bought the DVD, then I bought the Blu-ray, then I bought the Shout Factory Blu-ray, and now I own the Arrow 4K. And I thought, this movie's not that old. It cannot possibly be that much better from DVD to Blu-ray to 4K. And it is so gorgeous on 4K. It is just like unbelievably rich blacks, and the oranges glow so much. And I started watching it with the commentary, and I'm like, stop interrupting my favorite movie. So I turned it off and watched it, and then I'm like, started back over from the beginning with a commentary and just rewatched it again. That's how much I love this thing. If it's on TV, I stop and watch it because I think Sci-Fi has been playing it. AMC might have been. I don't know. But genuinely just adore this movie.
Truth.
Okay, enough car waxing. Do you have any trivia for this? The trivia for this is probably going to go on longer than the whole show.
It won't. I had to narrow it down to like, let's see, I have 4 pieces. So the performers, it's funny you say this, the performers under the masks playing the kids on the school bus all have real disabilities or injuries, and they apparently had a blast during the shoot. Their costumes were inspired. Good. Yeah, their costumes were inspired by a mix of photos from Ralph Meatyard and Diane Arbus capturing real mentally disabled children on Halloween in their own homemade costumes.
Aww.
There
almost
were
feel bad saying how creepy they were now.
Well, no, but it's genuine, right? I mean,
yeah.
There were 18 drafts of the script, and one of them that crept in along the way is the idea that each of the stories represents a different stage of a person's experience with Halloween. The first story with Dylan Baker and his son is about how you're introduced to a holiday. The second one with the kids is how you and your friends roaming around with without your parents for the first time. The one with Anna Paquin and her friends is Halloween in your 20s when it's about sex. And the final story with Brian Cox is how Halloween is in your twilight years. It's like the Scrooge of Halloween.
Oh man, I'm in Brian Cox mode. Damn it. I still haven't decorated yet.
I know. I haven't got my outside decor out yet. So the film had many title changes before filming began. Originally titled Season's Greetings, also the name of the short film, it was changed because it sounded too much like a Christmas film. Then it was called Halloween Terrors, Jack-O-Lantern Tales, October the 31st, and Trick or Treat. The final title was kept, but since there was already a movie of the same name out, they changed the spelling to Trick or Treat.
Yeah, don't be stepping on Sammy Kerr.
And then this one is new to me. I noticed it after I read this upon my second viewing in the same day. There are 8 locks on Krieg's front door, one for each child on the school bus.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Isn't that cool?
It is very cool. There's going to always be something. Every viewing is always going to be something.
Yep.
All right. So there we go. Let's rank these movies. Who wants to go first? Tad, how would you rank these films?
Trick or Treat, number 1 favorite. And then I have to go with VHS Halloween, then Scary Movie.
All right.
Same.
What?
Same for me.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think that's a sweep.
All right. Well, I did Trick or Treat, Scary Movie, then VHS Halloween. Moving on. Kill of the show. What was your favorite kill of this episode? Jason, let's start with you.
It's because it's the only movie that counts. I mean, that I liked on this. I'm going from Trick or Treat, and because it was one of the first ones, it was very subtle and sweet, and makes me wonder how, is this rated R? It is, right?
I would assume.
I know. I don't remember.
They show boobs, so
yeah.
Well, I loved that first when Emma gets her throat slit under the sheet. I really like how it was executed with the blood splatter, with the kids walking up and seeing that, and getting drugged back inside under this blanket. I just loved the way that was all, because you hate her immediately.
Yeah.
You're breaking all 3 of the 4 rules of how, you need to get it, and she gets it right away.
Such a grump.
Yeah, and that guy seemed cool and didn't deserve that, but
I mean, she's got to get some points that she still lets her husband watch porn, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know, does she? She just tells him to go put on the tape. I don't know.
That was
Maybe
weird.
she meant Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
That's probably it.
Go put on the tape.
All right. Tad, what's your favorite kill?
Oh, man. Maybe is it implied that the school bus kids come back and kill Krieg? Because that's good revenge, and he's such a grumpy asshole. So them or the kids coming back for revenge against the other kids, just love that. Love the zombified versions of the bus kids too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Brian, what about you?
Man, this is usually there's something like really standout 1 or 2 in an episode filled with mediocre kills, and this time there's so many great ones in Scary Movie alone. That rubber snake getting its head bit. No, I think
the guy with his wrist taken off with a scythe.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm gonna go with the kid that gets impaled on the witch's broomstick in VHS Halloween. Just, I mean, that whole segment was hilarious at the end, but that kill in particular was something special.
For me, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with over the top and most ridiculous, inventive one, and that's the dude on the conveyor belt in Fun Size in VHS Halloween, and getting turned into the candy. Yeah, it was good. I like that. A lot of penis. Can't go wrong.
I'll cut that audio out for everyone.
On the sound. Yep, thank you.
All right. Did everybody get to go on kill? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we still have more eerie tales to chill your bones. However, first, you're going to hear a promo for our network, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network. The PFPN is home to numerous great shows, including I Like It Spooky Podcast. They are your go-to podcast for anything horror-related, where they always keep it spooky. Horror movie reviews, news, and so much more. You can check out I Like It Spooky and all the other shows at thepfpn.com. .com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepffpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. And during our break, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we performed our seance and we reached out to the spiritual realm and we contacted the ghost of Helen Keller. And this is what she had to say. And now it's time to hear from you all, the listeners. Here's Jason with shout-outs.
It's time for
Shout-outs! 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 Shout-outs!
All right, we asked, what are your favorite horror movies that take place on Halloween night? And these are your answers on our Facebook page. We got up first, attacker Tim Lennerer says, Trick or Treat came to mind first. A delightful anthology film where everything takes place over the same time period but in different places. The mortality rate in that sleepy little town with a secret was amazing. Halloween has 3 different movies in the franchise that are all called Halloween, but I'm going to go with Halloween 3 since it's about trick-or-treating, costumes, and masks. And a brief shout-out to Ed Wood, where trick-or-treaters run screaming from Edward D. Wood Jr.'s dentures after being less than impressed with Bela F. Lugosi, his own damn self. That moment always brings a smile to my face. Up next, we got attacker Scott Reevesman says, Hollow Gate and Night of the Demons are the ones I keep coming up with.
Yeah.
Hollow Gate. One word. No, I've never heard that.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Up next, we got attacker Jacob McLaughlin says, Hack-O-Lantern is a real treat. Halloween 3 is my favorite movie in the series. I wish that it had been successful because bringing Michael back over and over made it the lamest of the big 3 slasher franchises. Ooh. At least Jason has much weirder and more fun sequels. And then lastly, on our Facebook page, we got Jacob Smith says, I'll second Night of the Demons and Trick or Treat for sure. Both are just piles of fun. Finally ordered the Shout Factory Blu-ray of Night of the Demons from their most recent sale, and I'm looking forward to breaking that in this spooky season. Heck yeah. All right, and the answer machine light's just a blinking, so let's head over there and see what's playing.
Hey everybody, it's Tacker Bill here, just calling in to, I guess, discuss movies set on Halloween, that we enjoy, and I guess, nothing out of the ordinary, the original, Halloween, and, also Halloween 3 is another fantastic flick set on Halloween, and there's a ton of them, but, I think the newest one that I, discovered and just kind of fell in love with, recently, I'm going to add to my yearly viewing is the Tales from Halloween. If you haven't found it yet, it's like an anthology, but it pulls no punches, but it's still darkly humorous, very old school Tales from the Crypt vibes, a lot of gore, but it's also, like I said, hilarious. So definitely give that one a go. Also, just want to say it was great seeing everybody at Halloween-a-Palooza. It was amazing as usual. Super proud of what you guys do every year, and I can't wait for next year. So right on, keep going with the show, and thanks. Bye.
Aw, thanks, Bill. It was good seeing you too, pal. Yeah, and Tales of Halloween, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one, yeah.
All right, well, for those of you who haven't yet, you can always leave us a voicemail to play on the show. You just give us a call at 415-952-6857. That's 415-95-AOTKP. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show, and that is Shoutouts.
Night wind howls through the trees, branches clatter and click. Ghouls prowl round the land, hunting mortals to trick. And if you are seeking the perfect Halloween flick, Mike has what you need. Now here's Insane's Picks.
Guys, you realize it's been probably a month and a half, maybe 2 months now, since I've done an Insane Specs. Oh, how has everybody survived? So I first saw clips of this film back in the day on the late night show Night Flight. If you need something to play in the background of your Halloween party, or you just want to watch a classic in the lost art of stop motion animation, you can do no better than Mascot in The Devil's Ball from 1933. I've seen it listed under many titles, just The Mascot, or Mascot in Devil's Ball, or just The Devil's Ball, or its original French title, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. When the film starts, you may ask yourself, how is this anything horror or Halloween themed? It starts out with a mother who is making a living, making toys, and brings to life a toy of a cute little stuffed puppy dog with her tears. The dog hears the mother's sick child ask for an orange. However, the mother does not have enough money to be able to afford such luxuries. So the dog goes out on an adventure to find the boy an orange. It's all cute and heartwarming and innocent. However, once the clock strikes midnight, the devil appears, and the dog toy ends up at the Devil's Ball, which is attended by all kinds of strange and bizarre creatures, featuring such monstrosities as creatures made of straw, chicken and fish skeletons, creepy dolls, anthropomorphic vegetables, and other various demons and creatures made from the trash in the streets. The haunting imagery of the brilliant stop motion will captivate you with all of its strange set pieces, such as a balloon person who is playing on the saxophone until he deflates himself. Another balloon person drinks so much that he eventually pops. Then there are the dancing glasses that ritualistically is dancing around a pitcher until they end up smashing themselves into tiny little pieces. This was the first in a series of the Dog Mascot films made by, I'm going to try it, Starvich. I can do the last name, Starvich. Was a very popular Polish-Russian stop-motion animator during his time. He's often noted as the first filmmaker to do a stop-motion puppet animated film. His work has inspired many future filmmakers, from the brothers Quarry to Terry Gilliam and even Wes Anderson. The original film was 40 minutes long, but it was cut down to 25 minutes by distributors. You can see a nice 4K version 35-minute of the film restored intact on YouTube under the title The Mascot / The Devil's Ball. And I highly recommend checking it out. You guys ever seen it?
Nope.
I have not.
Really? Oh, I thought at least Brian might have. Yeah, definitely check it out. So that's it, folks. That is our Halloween special. I hope that puts you all in the Halloween mood.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
That's right, because it is Halloween. It's Halloween every day for us here at Attack of the Killer Podcast. So, if you want more Attack of the Killer Podcast in your life, we're on X, TikTok, Threads. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Be sure to become an attacker by going to jointheattackers.com. Listen to us and all the other great shows on thepfpn.com. And leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, and have a very happy and spooky Halloween.
Oh no, could this be the end of?